There are moments in life that define us, not by the height of our success, but by the depth from which we had to climb. This is the story of one such moment, and the journey that followed. It began not with a bang, but with a quiet, deafening silence. A man, alone in a room that was as empty as his prospects, sat surrounded by the shadows of his failures. The air was thick with despair, each dim corner a monument to dreams that had crumbled. He had hit rock bottom, a place where the only view is up, but the will to look is often the first thing to perish. Yet, in that profound stillness, a flicker of defiance sparked. It wasn't a grand revelation, but a simple, stubborn refusal to be extinguished. This was not his end. It was his beginning. The climb was anything but glorious. It was a grueling montage of thankless tasks and sleepless nights. Days were spent taking any job he could find, from washing dishes in a greasy diner to stacking boxes in a dusty warehouse, each task a small, necessary sacrifice for the bigger goal. The physical exhaustion was immense, but it was the mental fortitude that was truly tested. Nights were not for rest, but for relentless study. Under the lonely glow of a cheap desk lamp, he pored over books and online courses, his mind a sponge absorbing every drop of knowledge he could find. The world, however, was not yet ready to reward his efforts. Rejection became a constant companion. Emails went unanswered, doors were politely but firmly shut in his face. Each no was a sharp sting, a temptation to surrender to the familiar comfort of despair. But his resolve had hardened into something unbreakable. He pushed on, fueled by a quiet, unwavering belief in a future he could not yet see. Then, after what felt like an eternity of struggle, a crack of light pierced through the darkness. It came in the form of an email, a single, tentative yes in a sea of rejections. It was his first client, a small project, barely enough to make a dent in his financial woes. But its value wasn't measured in money. It was measured in hope. He poured every ounce of his being into that project, fueled by the desperation of a man with everything to prove. The work was painstaking, the hours long, but when he finally delivered the finished product, the client satisfaction was his first taste of real victory. It was a small success, a tiny foothold on a treacherous mountain, but it was enough. For the first time in a long time, the shadows in his world began to recede, replaced by a glimmer of what could be. That small win was the spark that reignited his spirit, turning the flicker of defiance into a burning flame of ambition. Years passed, each one a testament to that initial spark. The journey was long, filled with more challenges, more setbacks, and more lessons learned. In his place stood a leader, an innovator, a success. The final scene is not one of quiet desperation, but of vibrant accomplishment. He stands confidently in a bright, modern office, the city skyline sprawling out behind him through floor-to-ceiling windows. The light that fills the room is a reflection of the light within him. He is surrounded by a team, the hum of productivity a symphony of his realized vision. His story serves as a powerful reminder that our deepest chasms are not our graves, but the foundation upon which we can build our greatest triumphs.